Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Within minutes, the skies over the Middle East turned into an active war zone. Missiles were launched from Iran, targeting Israel, and even U.S. military assets across the region. This is no longer a limited confrontation. This is a multi-front escalation, one that is beginning to involve global powers.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Wave after wave of missile strikes hit multiple targets across the region, raising serious concerns about a much wider conflict. The question now is this the beginning of a regional war or something far greater? To understand what is happening now, we need to examine how this escalation started. The strikes on Israel and U.S. military assets are not isolated events. They are part of a broader chain of responses, one that has evolved rapidly and increasingly openly.
Whoa. 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 Abba. Whoa.
In its early phase, the conflict remained relatively contained. Strikes were limited, targets were precise, and escalation was carefully managed. But that balance began to shift. Military operations targeting Iranian interests triggered a far more expansive response than expected. For the first time in this escalation cycle, Iran moved beyond symbolic retaliation, launching coordinated missile strikes across multiple fronts simultaneously. Not only Israel, but also U.S. military presence in the region. This marked a critical turning point, because in geopolitical terms, targeting two major actors at once significantly increases the risk of a broader conflict.
Ya Allah, you!
As the escalation expanded, the nature of the attacks became more structured. This was not a single strike, but a series of coordinated missile waves. In military analysis, this approach is known as a layered strike strategy. Initial waves are designed to test defenses. Follow-up waves increase pressure, and later phases aim to exploit vulnerabilities within the defense system. Iran deployed a combination of advanced missile systems, including Khorramshahr 4, Ghadir, Fattah, Kibar, Shikan. Each system plays a specific role. Some are designed for maximum destructive payload. Others prioritize speed and rapid deployment. And hypersonic class systems are engineered to challenge even the most advanced missile defenses. Without relying on drone support in this phase, the operation demonstrates a clear focus: direct, high-intensity missile saturation. This creates a critical condition: Defense systems are pushed to their limits. Systems like Iron Dome are highly capable, but no system is designed to handle sustained, high-volume missile waves indefinitely. Once the attack pattern is established, the next question becomes clear. What exactly is being targeted? The answer reveals a highly calculated strategy. On one side, major Israeli cities such as Tel Aviv and Haifa were key targets. Tel Aviv represents economic and technological power. Haifa serves as a critical hub for industry, energy, and maritime logistics. Targeting these cities directly impacts national stability. On the other side, Iran's missile strikes extended to U.S. military infrastructure across the region. Reported targets include Victoria Base in Iraq, Ali al-Salem Air Base in Kuwait, Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, assets linked to the U.S. Fifth Fleet in the Gulf. These are not just military bases, they are essential nodes of U.S. strategic presence. From a strategic perspective, this reflects a dual pressure approach. Pressure on Israel's internal stability, pressure on U.S. military presence. This significantly increases the complexity of any response. When a conflict involves both Israel and the Americas Serikat, it no longer remains regional. It becomes a global security concern. The involvement of a global power creates the potential for chain reactions. Allied nations reassess their positions. Military readiness increases worldwide. Geopolitical tensions spread rapidly. At the same time, Iran has demonstrated the ability to launch coordinated missile strikes across multiple targets simultaneously. This sends a clear message. The conflict can expand at any moment. From an economic perspective, the Middle East remains central to global energy supply. Any instability in this region has immediate consequences. Rising oil prices, disrupted supply chains, increased inflationary pressure. Major trade routes are also at risk. And if escalation continues, the impact will extend far beyond the region, affecting Europe, Asia, and global markets. When we look at the full sequence of events, from initial escalation, multi-front missile strikes, to strategic targeting, one thing becomes clear. This is not a conventional conflict. This is a rapidly evolving confrontation driven by advanced missile technology, strategic coordination, and high-stakes geopolitical tension.
No! Wow!
It is not just about missiles. It is about power, deterrence, and the balance of global stability. And at this moment, the world stands at a critical point. because every next move has the potential to redefine the future of this conflict. Will this remain a contained escalation, or is it the beginning of something much larger? One thing is certain, what is happening today will not only shape the region, but could define the future of global security.
בוא נהיה קצת יותר רציני, באמת בוא נהיה קצת יותר מי שלא הגיע למסר שלנו, שהגיעו למקלטים ציבוריים פה בזירה הזאת, ויש פה סגרנו בנדרך שהגילו עד זמנו.
No wounded, no casualties, but the impact is very strong in the center itself, and the goal of the Iranian regime is to hit civilian population in Israel and to try to kill Israelis wherever they are.